I'm going to introduce some friends of mine. 2 old friends and 1 new friend. Because here after singing a couple songs of old-time America, how we went west, across the Mississippi River, across the plains, across Texas to California, and now Americans have, we have our 50th state in Hawaii, and Americans have gone even farther. I wanted to hear them, and I'd like you to hear them too. Steve Addiss and Bill Crofut, golly, I knew them when they were kids in school. In fact, I was a teacher of one of them when I was a music teacher about 15, 20 years ago. And since then, they've traveled around the world themselves, singing songs, many different places, dozens of different countries, giving people in other countries a taste of American folk music. And in the country of Vietnam, they met an extraordinary musician named Phạm Duy, spelled D-U-Y, but I'm told it's pronounced Duy. I only just met him, just before we went on the air. But I know about him because I heard his record, his Folkways record. He's collected songs all over Vietnam, north and south. For 20 years, he walked from village to village, writing down songs with pencil and paper till he could afford a tape machine and recorded them on tape. And I heard some of the old folk songs of the little villages way back in the hills, the songs of the rice farmers and so on. He's not only a collector of Vietnamese folk music, but he's a songwriter. And altogether a very interesting guy, and I think no matter who you are, it'd be interesting to meet him. So in just a moment, we'll pour out the coffee cups here, and we'll meet Steve Addiss, Bill Crofut, and Mr. Phạm Duy. Phạm Duy. Like most Americans, what I know about Vietnamese music could be written on my fingernail. And I'm very glad to meet you and hear some of these songs and hear this unusual looking instrument. What do you call it?
Vietnamese called đàn tranh. But
called đàn tranh.
Yeah.
Đàn tranh. Đàn tranh.
But it is a zither.
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 Some kind of a zither.
Oh, some kind of a zither. Yes, well, they have these all through the Orient. The Japanese koto is a little like this.
And in China, people play also the đàn tranh, but it's called kiêm.
I see.
You know, when you say these words in Vietnamese and one thing or another, they're music in themselves. You know, it's a tonal language like Chinese.
I mean, the same word can mean different things if you say it high or low?
Sometimes it's very funny. For example, if you're supposed to say Vietnam, and if you say it like some of the administration officials say it, Vietnam, it comes out meaning dying duck.
Well, I'd be interested to hear some of the old songs first. Can you tell us a little about them too, because I'd like to know where it came from and what the words mean.
Yes. You know, maybe you are surprised if I sing Vietnamese old song with a guitar. But I think when I was 10, I played already guitar. That means the guitar came in Vietnam 40 years, more than 40 years ago. Yes.
So now all young people in Vietnam know the guitar.
Yes, and they play also electric guitar, like Beatles. In the ancient time, Vietnamese has many fair songs. That means after the harvest, people...
Like our harvest festival.
Yes, like that. Here is a very old song. The title is Trèo lên quán dốc. That means full moon fair song. Trèo lên quán dốc, ngồi góc ngồi cây đa, rằng tôi ly ôi cây đa. Ai đem ôi tính toán tình rằng cho đôi mình gặp, xem hội cái đêm trăng rằm, rằng tôi ly ôi cây đa. Trẻ trẻ đàn non kia nó đôi ba tâm, tôi ly ôi tầm ba thơ. ai đã nói tính toán tình rằng cho anh chàng mặc xem hội cái đôi trăng rằm rằng tôi li ôi cái đà rằng tôi li ôi cái đà trẻ trẻ đàn non kia nó đôi ba tâm tôi li ôi tâm ba tâm ai đã nói tính toán tình rằng cho anh chàng đội xem hội cái đêm trăng rằm rằng tôi li ôi tháng riêng rằng tôi li ôi tháng riêng.
Well, now in the old days, would this kind of a song be sung always by one person, or would groups of people sing it together ever?
Oh, they sing like I am a boy, you are a girl. You sing like in duo.
Duo.
Duo, yes.
Duet.
That's from the north.
Yes,
right?
from the north.
Where you were born.
The all Vietnamese folk song, all are only the pentatonic system. That means 5 tune. Do re fa son la son fa re do.
Like the black notes on a piano.
Yes.
I noticed, though, studying music with musicology with Phạm Duy and some of the other instruments, that in South Vietnam, the pentatonic scale, because of influences from basically India, not directly through India, but tribal minorities, the Champa kingdom, which used to be in South Vietnam, but the pentatonic scale begins to switch.
Yes.
So instead of da da dee dee dee, it goes da da dee 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 da 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 dee dee dee, and so forth. It begins to bend a little bit.
Well, that's what you do with this instrument.
Yes.
Yes. This instrument is now tuned for
a black
South Vietnamese.
Yes. Well, it is for South Vietnamese.
I mean, Steve Addiss, you're going to play it, not Phạm Duy.
Oh, he plays maybe better than me because he learned. He was in Vietnam and he learned.
But this, you can see how it's tuned.
That means do re fa son la do now becomes do mi fa son la son fa mi do.
And I believe when you play this instrument, is what they call the left hand makes the player. It's the little additional things that you do on the other side of the bridge. If you play this note, that's all right, but when you reach that note, you're supposed to give it a little.
And do that again.
And on this note, on the fourth note, you're supposed to raise it a little bit. Like it would be between F and F sharp somewhere. And the third note, which I have now sort of a major third, can really be halfway between. It's a little hard. It's musicians to taste, I think. Some make there, some others.
Sour lemon in the
Yeah.
sauce.
First time I heard the musicians play this, I said, they're awfully good, but why don't they get into tune? Then I realized it was my ear that was out of tune. But perhaps a little bit of, can you explain a little of Lee Con Chao?
Yes, it is like a children's song in Vietnamese, South Vietnam. Lee Con Chao, that means a song for the little bird.
Little birds.
Yes.
Starling.
Black birds, I don't know. Yes.
banjo.
Oh, I could just have in the picture of my mind the fields of rice and the trees and some person sitting outside a grass-roofed thing playing this to themselves. And the only sound is some birds.
Yes.
It's an instrument that I think traditionally the young girls particularly learn. Perhaps our great-grandmothers might have learned to spin it, you know. The long black hair and the beautiful Vietnamese dress that the girls wear in playing this instrument, it's very, very beautiful.
Mm.
Very, very beautiful.
I can't keep my hands off it.
You see, you can tune it with a peg, but these bridges are also for fine tuning, and it's wonderful fun.
You know, I think we should tell Peter a little bit how all of this came about. You're studying this instrument and are going to Vietnam and one thing or another. I think the reason we've sort of followed up on a particular interest in Vietnamese music is because in all the countries we've gone to, we've rarely been to a country where we met somebody that took us in the same way that Phạm Duy did. He was there the night we arrived, and he took us out to have a Vietnamese dinner the first day we ever got there, and started singing Vietnamese songs and teaching them to us. And he went with us without pay, just because he wanted to hospitals, orphanages, schools, universities, hamlets, out in the countryside. And it was his presence that made the thing so meaningful. I was mentioning last night to some people that in this whole political thing, I wish we had more politics who could look at countries' problems through the best of their expressions, their music, their art, their literature, because it leads to such a greater understanding of things.
Yes, I think it's so much in the news today, Vietnam, and yet we don't know really very much about the country and the people. And I think with Phạm Duy here to just tell a little bit about
sing another song and tell us about it.
Yes.
You're next.
You know, if you heard Vietnamese folk song, all folk song, like you recognize, you imagine rice, field, you imagine flower, you imagine bird, and you imagine peace. All folk songs are talking about peace. But now in Vietnam, you have many songs talking about war. I think is the moment I will sing the song at daytime, present time. But if you want to know about more Vietnamese people, I will sing for you all song, love song, fair song at first. And after that, I will sing for you the song of today. And you see the difference. You see how Vietnamese people are suffering 20 years ago. So now let's sing a love song, very own love song. The meaning of this song is, I love you. I offer to you my dress. When I come back, my parents ask for me, where is your dress? I answer to my parents, the wind blows on the bridge and I lose my dress.
Wind on the bridge.
Yêu nhau của nhau cho nhau về nhà, dối rằng cha dối mẹ ngon. Này ngôi qua cầu, này ngôi qua cầu, tình 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 gió bay, tình 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 gió bay. Yêu nhau cội nhớ nỗi cho nhau về nhà, dối rằng cha dối mẹ ngon. Này ngôi qua cầu, này ngôi qua cầu, tình 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 nói rơi, tình 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 nói rơi.
Let's have one more before we take a break. What would it be?
Children's song.
How about before we get to the new songs, maybe we can all sing the rice planting song.
Yes, I know.
All up.
Yes,
All
I
right.
know.
Good. This is a song that Phạm Duy taught us. The first first day we got to Vietnam, a rice planting song. And when we traveled throughout the country, people would see Bill or see me walking down the street and they'd say, Mr. Ha Le, because the song is Ha Le.
Đèn nào cao cho bằng đèn châu đớp, gió nào độc cho bằng gió gò khơi. Vợ chồng son đã nuôi lòng ước mơ, con vợ chồng sẽ có tiền đô. Hò lơ lắng tai nghe tiếng ai đang hò lơ, hò lơ, hò lơ. Hò lơ lắng tai nghe tiếng ai đang hò lơ. Nào cao cho bằng đèn cho đúc, gió nào đúc cho bằng gió gõ khơi. Và chúng sông đã nuôi lòng ước mong, con và chúng sẽ khát điện đó. Hò lơ lắng tai nghe tiếng ai đang hò lơ, hò lơ, hò lơ. Hò lơ lắng tai nghe tiếng ai đang hò lơ.
Before we hear some more songs from Phạm Duy and Steve Addiss and Bill Crofut, take a break here, and who wants more?
Thank you, Mr. Seeger.
We've heard 3 or 4 of the older Vietnamese folk songs, and now Phạm Duy, I think I and the others would like to hear some of the newer songs of Vietnam.
Yes, sir. In Vietnam, people consider if folk songs are the mirror of the past, folk song must also to be the reflection of the present time. So, as you know, 20 years ago, Vietnamese is the war time. So I would like to sing for you one very old song 20 years ago. I composed it when I was in the North area. The title is Người Thương Binh. That means the wounded soldier.
What is
the wounded soldier?
The wounded soldier.
Phạm Duy told me that he composed this 20 years ago when he was with the Viet Minh. And one day, some years later, he went into a village and asked them to sing folk songs. He was collecting, and they sang them this song as a folk song, which must be a wonderful honor to know that a song that he had written had really become one. It says, I think if I'm correct, that the first verse, the girl is saying goodbye to her husband who was going off to fight in the war. And in the second verse, he comes back and he has lost his arm.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he is welcomed back by his family and the
She
whole
loved
village.
him 2 times more than is the past.
Yes,
Even
she loves him
knows
twice
one
as much as
else.
before.
Something like that.
Trở về trên cánh đồng xanh, có nàng gắng lúa cho anh ra đi chia thù. Từng ngày trên thiên mùa thu, từ ngày trên thiên mùa thu. Đúng ngày trên thiên mùa thu, có tranh gió linh, biển hưu ai đi tung hoành. Trở về trên cánh đồng xanh, trở về trên cánh đồng xanh. Chiều quê hoang nhớ núi trái, để em nhìn qua ngày trôi, nhường nhồi đi đi rồi, người vì nhỏ nước xa xôi, người vì nhỏ nước xa xôi. Một chiều trên quãng đường xa, bóng người anh dũng năm xưa ra đi chốn này. Chàng về nơi đó cụt tay, chàng về nơi đó cụt tay, chàng
chàng về nay đã cụ tới bao đầu đã nhuốm trên thấy bao nhiêu buồn thù từ ngày chinh chiến mùa thu, từ ngày chinh chiến mùa thu. Chiều quê vẫn nhớ người trai vì ai bảo chân tự sinh, thiên trường quên mình, người về có nhớ thương mình, người về có nhớ thương mình. Oh, thank you. You're a couple of years. Thank you.
Well, this little bamboo flute I learned how to play from a fellow who came from Israel, and whenever I come up,
Israel.
and whenever I find a tune that's got 5 notes in it like that, I can usually find a way to fit in, even though I've never heard it before. Oh, that's beautiful. And you wrote that 20 years ago.
Yes.
Have you written many songs?
Yes, sir.
300, 400?
We have more than 300 songs already.
How are they spread around? Are they in songbooks?
Yes, I have published many books, songbooks.
And recordings
Yes,
too?
Yes. Very people now in Vietnam has only music to relive the suffering.
In many ways, he's the Woody Guthrie of Vietnam. And he's walked the entire length of the country, I think you mentioned that, and written songs about the people, not the governments, but
Sing
the
another.
peasants.
Sing another.
Yes, sir. Now in Vietnam we have a song very popular in Vietnam. People like this song because it reflects now the feeling of our people. The title is Nhân danh.
On behalf.
Yes, on behalf. I am introducing to you.
Steve, why don't you explain a little bit about this?
This is a song which Phạm Duy can sing 2 different ways. Perhaps you can translate as you go, and then we will explain.
Yes.
If there are any questions.
It is also a protest song.
It is a
But not
protest
only
song.
protest and propose one solution. Vì sự mình tôi phải giết một người, xin nhân danh ngồi dưới mặt trời. Vì sự mình tôi phải giết một người. For my defense, I must kill one man. For my place in the sun, I must kill one man. Vì gia đình tôi phải giết 10 người, xin nhân danh hạnh phúc lạc loài. Vì gia đình tôi phải giết 10 người. For the family, I must kill 10 men. On behalf of prosperity, I must kill 10 men. Vì xóm làng tôi phải giết ngàn người, xin nhân danh ruộng đất nẹp mỏi, xin nhân danh ruộng đất nẹp mỏi, giết ngàn người. For the village, I must kill 100 of men. On behalf of bigger land, I must kill 100 of men. Vì dông nói tôi phải giết vạn người, xin nhân danh tổ quốc đẹp người. Vì nói tôi phải giết vạn người. For the nation, I must kill thousands of men. On behalf of fatherland, I must kill thousands of men. Lý tưởng tôi phải giết triệu người, xin nhân danh giải phóng loài người. Vì lý tưởng tôi phải giết triệu người. For my ideology, I must kill millions of men. To liberate all mankind, I must kill millions of men. nhiên loại tôi còn giết trọn loài người, giết trọn loài người. Xin nhân danh đường lối hòa bình, xin nhân danh đường lối hòa bình, giết luôn tôi. For the human race, I must kill everything else. On behalf of the lasting peace, I must kill myself.
Is that the end of the song?
Yes.
Good God.
You know, in Vietnam, when I sing this song, people applaud me. But I talk to the people, to the audience. I apologize, but I must to refuse your applause, because you don't have to applaud a killer. On behalf of many beautiful things, they push the people to kill the people. So because of the applause me, I must to sing another way. For my defense, I must save one man, save one man. For my blood in the soul. For my defense, I must save one man. For family, I must save 10 men. On behalf of prosperity, I must save 10 men. For the village, I must save 100 men. On behalf of meager land, I must save 100 of men. For the nation, I must save thousands of men. On behalf of fatherland, I must save thousands of men. For my ideology, if I have one, I must save millions of men. To liberate all mankind, I must save a million of men. For the human race, I must save everything else. On behalf of the lasting peace, I must save at first myself. That is a proposition. One protestation supposed to have one proposition. Is the title of on behalf. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I heard you rehearsing one that you all three do together. Have you taught Bill and Steve another one of your songs?
This is a song he wrote about a year ago, and it's... I get so shook by the other song, it's hard. But this is a very beautiful song called The Rain on the Leaves, Sat Mua Chin La, and we've worked a way to do it both in Vietnamese and in English for people.
Steve, translate into English.
mắt mẹ ra lá trà đầm đìa trên xa có lợi gió trên lá nước mắt mặn mà thiếu nữ vì tan chiến tranh trong giọt mưa trên lá tiếng khóc hoa hoa đua đến chào đời cho chúng ta nụ cười giọt mưa trên lá tiếng nói bao lòng tóc trắng đậm đà để mãi
on the leaves is the tears of joy of the girl whose wife returns from the war. The rain on the leaves is the bitter tears when the mother hears her son is no more. Baby just born as life is begun. The rain on the leaves is an old couple's
cho xiết miệt mài, anh biết nhiều lần tôi giọt mưa trên lá bờ mơ xôn xao muôn quy ra sao, anh biết nhiều lần đó. Giọt mưa trên lá thơm thoáng buồn khép nếp đôi trò xa cách nhau vợ chồng. Giọt mưa trên lá dĩ hàn xa xôi sớm tối mùi mùi xa cách nhau mùa đời. A ran of the leaves is a passionate voice in a fine and choice where last love is near. A ran of the leaves is a voice surprised as it realized its first love is here. A ran of the leaves is a heart distressed and a loneliness as life passes by. A ran of the leaves is a last caress and a tenderness before love can die.
I once made up a song how the world was getting all mixed up and how our food and our language and just about everything else was getting all tangled with things from one country visiting another and mixing, whatever you want to call it, for good or bad, this is going on. And son of a gun, I found out they know an old American tune and have Vietnamese words to it even. And when I say American tune, though, come to think of it, it was actually originally a Mexican tune. How it got to Mexico, I don't know. It might have been a European tune. But in 1849, the gold miners heard this little tune. Boom, 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 and somebody swiped the tune and had a big pop hit out of it. And you, of course, you all know it very well. I don't know what words they sing to it in Vietnam, but I want to see myself. Let me get around and back so I can find out what it is. What are the words about?
About a girl who has big
Sandals?
big feet. Yes,
Big feet.
Yes, so when she fall down the river, the lover can't, because he cannot to swim, he cannot to sail.
Because he has such big feet.
He cannot save her
swim.
from the river.
Something like that.
I sing?
Yes.
Nơi hang sâu này, trên non cao này, mỏ than ấy có dân di cư, và trong đám đó có một gia đình đẻ gái xinh là cây máu thai. Ôi em yêu kiều, ôi em yêu kiều, người yêu dấu hơi cây máu thai. Em đã khuất núi, em đã qua đời, buồn không ghê rồi cây máu thai. Trừ em huy hoàng như tiên trên trần, làn tóc sáng với đôi chân to, giày cao ông mới ôm cổ chân dài, giày rất oai của cây máu thai. Em yêu kiều, ôi em yêu kiều, người yêu dấu hơi cây máu thai. Em đã khuất núi, em đã qua đời, buồn gươm ghê rồi cây máu thai.
Steve, play it on the...
Ra đây sông đầy, em đi chân bày, bày ra súc sớm tôi em vui. Rồi em vấp ngã chân nàng đôi giày, buồn gươm ghê rồi cây máu thai. Ôi em yêu kiều, ôi em yêu kiều, người yêu dấu hơi Clementine. Em đã khuất núi, em đã qua đời, hồn gấm ghê rồi Clementine. Trôi trên sông đầy, trôi trên sông dài, nhìn lớp sóng sóng cuốn em trôi. Ôi anh ơi ơi, không tập bơi lội, đánh mất em rồi Clementine.
Sing some more verses. We got plenty of time.
Ôi em yêu kiều, ôi em yêu kiều, người yêu dấu hơi Clementine. Em đã khuất núi, em đã qua đời, buồn gươm ghê rồi Clementine. Khi hoa trong vườn, khi bông hoa hương nở to tướng cuốn dưới các chuông, ta tin chắc chắn hoa được vun trồng thơm hương nàng Clementine. Ôi em yêu kiều, ôi em yêu kiều, người yêu dấu hơi Clementine. Em đã khuất núi, em đã qua đời, buồn gươm ghê rồi Clementine.
We have time just to sing a chorus. Let's do it in English so the poor people out there will be able to join in. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine.